Okay, hey Chris, Chris Murphy, Regional CTO in EMEA at VIAVI Solutions. Is that correct?
This is correct.
Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you again at MWC. I would like to ask the first question actually. VIAVI Solutions, tell me a little bit about your key sort of strategic pillars and product sets that you're bringing to the Open RAN market.
Great question, AP. So we're a test and measurement solution company.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of our pillars, and that has a great bearing for me at Wireless because we also, a lot of it is very explicitly tailored us towards the open RAN space, so we can the different components. So when it comes to decomposition, it's different into new functions, and the ability to test those, the interquality testing, because there's performance testing, background testing, end-to-end testing of those components. There's a bit of variety, and people treat it as a good side of the RAN emulation, so that it's just developing apps, we're testing against a realistic scenario, and we make sure they actually work, and we show it in the work to our customers. And then we also play in the app space, so of traditional many machines and optimization business interact to the open RAN space. So there's a lot of places to I'm going to touch on mobile.
Well, that's fantastic. And actually, I want to highlight all three of those points because TIT and VIAVI and a few other partners have been working together for the past 18 months on UK DSIC funded projects. So one of them is, if I may, ARI 5G. This is accelerating RAN intelligence and 5G networks. And then Ariane, which is the latest one, accelerating RAN intelligence in network ecosystems. VIAVI Solutions isn't involved in both of those. Playing to what you just talked about, can you tell me a little bit about what you've done in ARI 5G, which is coming to completion now, and what sort of benefits have been realized from that project?
Okay, yes, absolutely. And so in case of ARI 5G, as I said, it's critical to be able to test your application. So ARI 5G was developing 4 use cases on the RAN intelligent controller.
Yep.
So we worked with Amdocs, or Excel, some BC as a partner, as well as needing it. So we bought our root test RAN emulator, which emulates the CNUs, DUs, the RUs, and the UEs, the mobiles in complex scenarios. So we could test the 4 use cases that have been developed. And this means that one of these use cases is also the urban use case. And so we had a contribution there where we were developing the interference mitigation use case, which we just tested into a test.
Could you tell me a little bit more about interference mitigation, just the type of results that you showcased on those test scenarios that you looked at?
Yeah, so we consume data from the network, and data-driven spatial recognition experience to ISO. And we collect data, we find reconfigurations supporting to digital twin instead of on a very faithful interference mitigation scenario. And so what we did with the collect data, we do the calculations of find more to a scenario, push them out to the network or the vector test in this case, and we used in this case a few proxies to interference, RSRQ being the big one, and we showed that we could shift the RSRQ significantly to the right, giving an improved quality of this spiders.
And for a layman like me, as far as I understand, for anyone in the cell configuration and the traffic scenario, this interference mitigation application actually showed there was an increase in UE devices connected to the cells that were available in those sort of particular sort of scenarios where there's interference.
I mean, I think that was a combination of, firstly, there was the simulator was quite dynamic and complex, and it does express a dynamic load in the network.
Yeah.
And also, we had cleared up the RF, so there was the ability to support there or UE. So it was an combination of those two things, so and the company's thing. We had to split this up, we were doing through it.
Yeah.
And the company was like, Christian, we're not done yet.
Right. Yeah.
And in fact, we talked about Ariane as well.
Yeah.
They talk about the RV contributions last.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're bringing the testing into the Ariane projects as well. There's a new set of use cases being addressed there by partners, recruiting traffic steering,
optimization. Yeah.
Well, and so it was optimization. That's something, and then it's the same. So there's 3 use cases there. And it's not just about more use cases, it's also about the interactions between companies. One of the questions we need to address as an industry is how do we could have an ecosystem where these apps can work together on the same rig.
Absolutely.
And do the adverse conditions or incompatibilities arise, or conflicts or ping-pongs or race conditions, there's instances of that. So we want to understand that, and we want to rig testers able to work with the VMware in this space and study how those rig apps will interact and whether the performance can be delivered in a virtual ecosystem.
Absolutely, and it being on a BT network allows us to do the real-world test scenarios, almost carrier grade, and actually the technical insights that can be gathered can form back into standards developed, or at least enrich a little bit more in terms of how conflict management is being looked at in the standards world. I'm going to come to my last question actually, and I guess this is let's open up Pandora's box. VIAVI Solutions is a full member of TIP. You've renewed again in TIP, and thank you very much for that. What's quite key for me is to understand what your perspective is on how you want to see the Open RAN ecosystem develop through. You've got a lot of investment in this space, so it'd be really good to understand what is to happen, from your perspective.
Oh, there's plenty, I think. This is a good question.
And how can TIP
Yes, and I think TIP is going to be a central part of that for sure. Thank you. So I think we're seeing more players in this space, and you see some of the vendors here and the see where, there's many more vendors playing in, say, the great outer space now than we saw previously. So the industry is setting up in this space, and there's more vendors dipping their toes into. There's people playing in the open RAN space, new entrants, and even the traditionals are starting to dip the toe into this space as well. Or at least Europe, taking more of a speculative. So we've got to encourage that. So we've got to make sure that the facilities are there to build confidence in technologies, understand where its limitations are, understand where there's maturation needed, and take those findings to the standardization bodies, to the specification bodies, and make sure that the move towards maturity continues apace.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, from our perspective, if you look at it, there are a few paradigms that we need to solve as it constraint performance, compatibility or interoperability, deployability, and actual the distribution at scale of Open RAN systems. Whether they're in combination of traditional RAN networks that still exist, or whether they're actually fully fledged Open RAN systems that tier 2 operators can also buy into. So that's a long journey, and I'm looking forward to VIAVI Solutions continue to drive and take a leading role in what you're doing.
Thank you for listening too.